Jerry Beal here again, and this audio is entitled Better and Worse Conditions and Events Are Causing Better and Worse Lives. Is a very dishonest, irresponsible, and often violent and dangerous game of pretenses. This one is part two, which is what this lie means collectively. The part one was what this lie means personally. Try to imagine what would happen if a person like me, who has spent the last 25 passionate years extending right as in correct-minded thinking, try to imagine what would happen if I were a part of the Middle East peace accords. In other words, just think of the open mouths and wondering faces as I take an ample amount of time explaining how events are not able to cause human feelings and human experiences. Among so many ways I can prove that, because if events aren't able to cause human feelings and human experiences, why in the hell are they fighting over them and quarreling over them and killing each other over all the various arrangements of the conditions and events, and they're not even able to cause human feelings and human experiences. Among so many ways I can prove that, I would at least explain, even from the Old Testament of both the Jewish and the Palestinian people, that the words of Isaiah, "and a child shall lead them," is to notice that they're younger children who haven't yet been programmed, at least not very heavily programmed, with the lie that events are supposed to be causing experiences. If they hadn't yet been programmed with all the supposed differences between their peoples, then those children would demonstrate for them and thus lead them, and a child shall lead them and demonstrate for them to just enjoy learning and playing together and having fun with each other, no matter what their supposed differences, ethnic differences, are supposed to be. And here's the point. For there are no differences with any people anywhere where those differences aren't a matter of interpretation and not a matter of fact. Do you realize that? All those differences are a matter of interpretation, not a matter of fact, at least as far as better and worse. Thus, and when the basic care and keeping of bodies is not the issue, then better and worse people, better and worse conditions, and better and worse events has always been a massive fraud. For whatever is a matter of interpretation, when the care and keeping of bodies is not the issue, whatever is a matter of interpretation after that can't matter at all. And I know how to explain that all out. For even if someone believes that those interpretational differences matter for them, they are just confused. For whatever is a matter of interpretation only requires a change of mind, and certainly not a change in the conditions. For a change in the conditions is just that, a change in the conditions, nothing more and nothing less. But a change of mind about the conditions always and only brings a change of experience. That's always and only a change of mind about the conditions. And so it's only sane thinking for them to realize a change of mind about the conditions from highly problematic to not mattering at all, and as a matter of fact, is the only sane and reasonable way to proceed from their constant standoffs where they incorrectly believe that various conditions matter, and they matter a whole hell of a lot. And then we have the Republicans and the Democrats, who are constantly fighting and quarreling over various arrangements of the conditions and events, when again the conditions and events have nothing at all to do with the way we humans experience our feelings or our lives. So what politician in his or her own right mind wouldn't manipulate this way or that way and lie and cheat if they can get away with lying and cheating? That's what's happening, because I'm not going to go into that. And that's the gigantic problem. None of them are in their right mind. If you're in your right mind, you know that the conditions and events aren't affecting us. But when you're not in your right mind, you believe they're affecting us, and they're affecting us to where you just, just go crazy about it. But I'm in my right mind, and that's why I know none of them are in their right mind. If they were in their right mind, they would immediately form committees to begin to figure out how to get rid of money altogether. And their emphasis would be on the least of these, as Jesus talked about. And as Jesus said, inasmuch as you have done it to the least of these, you've done it unto me. But that sure doesn't sound much like the religious right wing of the Republican Party, does it? Absolutely not. They don't want social programs, and I'm not going to get into that right now. If these politicians were in their right mind, they would all legislate around, that's way closer to the Democratic side, a one for all and an all for one kind of social world. In fact, that's why they accuse Obama of being a socialist. Well, hell, I'm sure as hell a socialist, and anybody in their right mind would be a socialist, at least in the sense of a one for all and all for one kind of world, where everyone would be a part of cooperating and contributing where and how each and all are best at. And since that's not the case, I have Social Evolution Institution to begin doing that very thing. So thanks a lot for listening to this audio.